Okay. I think we're going to share. All right. Hello, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is the Print on Demand Challenge. We are at day 45, I believe. And so for the last couple of days, we've been talking about creating group photos or group products. Sorry. Group products can be anything from multiple shirts for like a family reunion, for a wedding, for a youth group, for any number of things where people are going to buy multiple of the same shirt or in different variations of the same shirt. And so we've gone through that exercise. And what I want to do today is I want to talk about a couple of other things as you think about creating your listings and your products for creating your designs and your listings for your products. So I want to say maybe about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, I kind of talked through this a little bit about how you can actually put up multiple designs at one time using multiple products, list multiple products at one time using one design. And so I kind of talked through it a little bit, and I want to come back and visit that because when you are doing group listings, a lot of the time you are going to be using the same design multiple times. It may be all in the same color, like a black shirt or a purple shirt or a red shirt or whatever. But when you come up with a design that you feel like, okay, this one is a great one to be able to create products, put on different products, then the first step of this journey, because I don't want you to sit there and do one product a day. I know I've talked about it, we're doing 1 or maybe 2 a day, and that's it. But I want you to think beyond that when you get the hang of this, when you're at a place where you're truly comfortable with creating designs, whether you're using Canva or another tool, whether you're listing on Etsy or another platform, when you get to a place where you're truly comfortable, the great thing about print on demand is that you can do variations or you can replicate the same design on multiple products. So that means that you have the ability, instead of just putting up one listing, you have the ability to put up 10 listings at one time. And that will make you feel like, one, you got more stuff done versus, spending an hour and only putting up one listing. You actually have the ability to get more done. So how do I get to that place where I'm able to put up more than one listing at a time? Well, the first thing is we're going to start way back at the beginning of this journey, which is I got to get comfortable with my design tool. You can choose to outsource creating designs, or you can begin the process of getting comfortable with your design tool. If you don't have a lot of capital at the beginning, then you're going to have to create the designs yourself. And they can be so super simple, as we've talked about before, where it's just a statement. Like I've seen shirts with just words and a period on the end, or just words and using different fonts. So it does not have to be complex. And do you have to hire a designer? The answer is no. If you decide that you're going to do that, then I want to encourage you to spend at least a minimum of 2 weeks of consistency as a minimum. I prefer 30, but 2 weeks of consistently creating a new design every single day for your listings in order to get to the place where you feel like, okay, I can do this multiple thing now. I'm ready to do this multiple thing. So spend 2 weeks just getting comfortable with using Canva, and spend 2 weeks just getting comfortable with creating listings. Once you've been consistent every day, that means 14 days straight, now you're ready to potentially take on creating multiple listings at one setting. So if you do 30 days, you'll definitely be more comfortable with it. But if you just do 14 days, at least you'll have some level of comfort. But you have to be consistent. If you're not being consistent, then you can attempt to do multiples, but I think you'll get more bang for the buck when you are consistent. As we talked about before, those who have a lot of listings up over time and have that consistency, those are the Etsy stores and other platform stores that make the most money. So being able to create multiple listings at one setting could definitely make you more money over time. So you got to get that consistency under your belt. So the first thing is, after you get past that 2 week or 30-day window, I want you to plan it out. I want you to think about what it is, what's the niche that you're going to go after. You can do some research, go review other listings to kind of get an idea. Go do some research on eRank for keywords. Go do some research on keywords everywhere. Go do some research. Okay. And you're going to find that one niche. You may find, like, we're going into elections. I'm confident that there are a bunch of different t-shirts and or things that you can create designs and superimpose onto products that you can sell like crazy. You probably could create just a store that focuses on whatever that happens to be. Because there's people that are passionate on both sides of the fence, or they're passionate about specific things. So again, that may be like a perfect idea when it comes to making some money. We're not going to overlook our niche. I'm just the niche that you've already established as part of this project. I'm just giving you an idea. So you're going to go out there and do some research, and you're going to use the research tools that we've talked about. You can choose to use others, but we're going to try to stick with the ones that are like affordable at the beginning if we're not profitable yet. And you want to go see what the competition is. You want to go see, think about what you could design or your take on that design. You're also going to go out there and validate that you don't have any copyright issues that you're going to run into for whatever, if it's going to be a quote or a saying or just words on a shirt, that you don't have any copyright. If you're going to use an image, that you're not going to run into any problems with that. So I'll go back to, we looked at the t-shirt that was inspired by the movie Top Gun or Maverick, with the sunglasses. I love that t-shirt. I think it was perfect because the planes are not going to get you into trouble. But lining up 3 planes, that could be any number of things. They just happen to be 3 planes lined up on a pair of lenses for sunglasses. And then they don't put the words Top Gun. They don't put the words Maverick, but the shirt is 100% inspired by that. So, and that was a shirt we looked at. I can try to find it again, but we looked at it and I thought that was perfect. So I could take that idea, or I could take an election idea. And once I figure out what are the words or the image that I want to design on my product, then I got to figure out which supplier I'm going to go with. You're going to go out there and figure out which one is the most affordable for you. Maybe even order some samples. Because if this is something you feel like, this is a passionate group of people and they're going to probably want to buy a bunch of this and I don't want a lot of returns, so I'm going to go out there and do some research and figure out, based on this particular idea or concept, I might order some samples once I've created my design. The next one is to create your listing template. What's the title? What's the description? What are the keywords? What are the tags? What are the other attributes about this listing? Because I don't want to have to type all this stuff multiple times. I just want to be able to create this listing and then come back in, replicate it, change the words. That's it. Like if I'm going to put it on a t-shirt, then the next time I'm going to replicate it again and put it onto a sweatshirt. I'm going to replicate it again and put it on a tote. I don't want to have to rewrite everything. Now, I do like to create some things in Google Docs. If you're working with the VA, you can have your VA put the title and the description in the Google Docs, and then you can come back and edit it and review it. And then you can have your VA do all the replication, the duplicating of the listings. You can decide, have him or her teach them how to grant them access to the platform in which you plan on using, the supplier that you're planning on using. And then, have them copy and paste. You also have in some of the supplier platforms the ability to create your own templates within there. So there's many different ways in which you can do this. And on Etsy, you can duplicate the listing. So again, you have multiple opportunities where you don't have to type it again. So after you go through and you create that template, which is your guide, then you're going to go ahead and you can create your design. Now you can do these in the reverse order if you have your design, but you're going to do your research first so you can figure out what it is that you're going to go after. And then you're going to create that design and you're going to place it on a product. So we're going to go with t-shirts because we've been talking about t-shirts. Not that that's the only product that you can place it on. So I'm going to place it on a t-shirt. Maybe I'll have a t-shirt with the white background and my design on the front. Then I decide I'm going to offer variation listings, and we learned how to do those yesterday. And I'm going to make it in with a black background, and then I'm going to create another one with a gray background, and then I'm going to create another one with whatever the colors are. You decide what color backgrounds that you're going to do. Now that I've got that, and I can put it in a variation listing. So I have all of the different colors in there as a group photo. And then I can also create those as standalone listings as themselves. So if I am designing a shirt with my design product on there, and I have created the group photo, and the group photo has 5 different colors in it. So I have a listing with the 5 different colors, and then I have the images for each one of those 5 shirts plus the cluster photo. So that's 6 images. Now I can go and I can create a standalone listing for the white one, and a standalone listing for the gray one, and a standalone listing for the black one, and a standalone listing for the blue one. I don't have to change anything drastically unless I want to. If I want to change the text, I can change it drastically, or I can just duplicate it and just change the color at the top. So instead of just creating one listing, I have now gotten 6 different listings are live now. 6 different listings for the same product. I've kind of expedited that process. If that design is absolutely amazing, then I am going to go ahead and put that design on other products. I will probably use the same keywords, or, the research I already did for the title, the description, and all of that stuff in the tags. And I will put those same words onto, or design, whatever, onto a different product. That different product can be a phone case. That different product can be a hat. That different product could be socks. That different product could be a face mask. That different product could be whatever you want it to be. Now I've gone through the process of, not only do I have the 6 listings, but now I have it on other products, and maybe I put it on 6 or 7 other products. So if I put it on 6 different products, I have 10 listings at this point. So I invested, oh, well, if I did that math right, sorry, I started off with 4 different products. So I've got 10 different listings, and all I did was do the research. Maybe I worked for 30 minutes to an hour to do this first part, or 45 minutes. And then I spend, 2 minutes putting it on another product, creating that other listing, another 2 minutes, putting on another product, creating that listing. So in that 1 hour, I've created 10 different listings with the one design that I focused on, did my research, created my template, and you can expedite that process. You can also use, like I said, you can use the group photos as your group products as your starting point, and then you can also list those as individuals. So this way you don't feel as frustrated and defeated. And in 1 week, if you use that same scenario for the 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours that you're committing to your business, whatever it happens to be, if you do that for 5 days a week, you've now got 50 listings up in 1 week. If you take that same concept, and I'm going to work 2 hours in my business, and maybe in 2 hours, I've created 3 different designs, and I take those 3 different designs times 10, I've now created 30 listings in 1 day. If I do that same thing through the rest of the week, I've now created 150 listings in 1 week for 5 days. So again, think about how you can take whatever it is that you've designed, and you're going to do that research. You can focus 100% on your current niche and use that as the basis for it. And as you go through and use that as the basis for it, what is your take on it for, Labor Day? What's your take on it for Christmas? What's your take on it for Halloween? So how do I create either a Halloween focused or themed version of this product? Maybe it's not Halloween that I focus on. Maybe I focus on just the season of fall and all of the things that are fall related. And that may be the thing that you do. So I want you to know that it's entirely possible to create a bunch of listings really quickly just by using your one design. just your singular design. The next one is to maximize your listing. I did not get through all the words, so sorry. I type very slowly right now. I don't like that. So I'm going to talk through it. So the first part is when you are thinking about your listings, and we've been talking about this whole time, is that your keywords always matter. You're going to go out there, you're going to go do the research on the keywords. You can use eRank, you can use Google Trends, you can look at other related or similar listings. There's so many different ways in which to tackle this. And you're going to make sure that you've noted what the keywords are that are most important for whatever this niche or topic is that you're about to focus on when you're getting ready to create your listings. You're going to make sure that you're aware of what the tags are. Again, some of that you can get from your competitors. You can do some research on the tags from your competitors and pay attention to that. The other thing is you're going to pay attention to, or you can set yourself apart by focusing on the attributes. You know, focusing on the keywords and focusing on the tags are good, but focus on some of the attributes as well. The attributes could be, you know, Christmas, and maybe someone else is not focusing on this from a Christmas perspective, which is what we've been talking about, focusing on it from a specific themed perspective. So, you know, the National Day of Prayer is a perfect one because we have two people that are part of this project that are making products that include scriptures. So you could literally have your attributes could be around the National Day of Prayer. So the people who are looking for something to purchase for the upcoming National Day of Prayer, or that want something that is prayer related, your product comes up because it's found both ways. So the attributes can be of course, the color and the size, but there can be other things that make it come up as well. So pay attention to those other things, whether it be holiday related, whether it would be a secondary niche related. I'm always joking about the fact that I have gray hair. And when I've had gray hair for many, 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 many years, but for the longest, I dyed my hair for a very long time. And people used to think that I would dye it black, red. Red, black is the hair color. And I chose it in different manufacturers, but it was always red, black. And so when you have gray hair, when you put red, black dye on it, it actually makes it look like you have highlights. I'll never forget. People are so mean sometimes. I'll never forget one of my friends who was in an argument with her husband. Is like, well, why don't you do like Nicole? She goes and she gets her hair put in highlights. I'm like, baby, my hair is gray. He's like, she takes care of her hair. She does all this stuff with her hair and it's highlights. And I'm like, my hair is gray. I just dye it red, black. He's like, that's not gray. I'm like, it is. And then when I finally shaved my hair off and, you know, cut all the color out of it, and he was in a state of shock because he was like, I didn't know you were that gray. I said, I told you my hair is gray. I've been gray for many years. So, you know, if I wanted to focus on products for people with gray hair, I could focus on that as one of the attributes. I could also focus on products or, you know, different t-shirts, totes, coffee mugs, whatever. Because I say I'm not the grandma. I also tell people that all the time because I have gray hair. And that's the running joke is like, you know, people will confuse me when my kids were little. And I had cut my hair off and my gray was showing every time I'd go to a parent teacher, you know, type of get together with all the other parents. They'd be like, oh, isn't it great to play with our grandbabies? I'm like, they're not my grandbabies. These are my kids. So he was like, well, I thought your face looked really young. Yeah, I'm the mama. I'm not the grandma. But that's one of my running jokes. So I could create a whole shirt theme around not the grandma, coffee mugs and totes and all that other stuff. And I could have the gray hair on there. That would resonate with those people who had the same issue that I had, which is you're going to a school to, you know, participate in your child's, I don't know, choir or play performance or, you know, school open house day or whatever. And you walk in and people assume you're the grandma, but you're not. So there's going to be some people that resonate with that. And so they would be interested in it. And in my attributes, I would be talking about, you know, gray hair, and I would be talking about getting mistaken for being a grandmother, and I would talk about different things that that particular avatar or audience would resonate with. I could also talk about different things around dyeing my hair. That would be another attribute, because those who don't want to dye their hair, they want to be accepted for who they are. And so there's a lot of different funny, cute things that, I am one of those people that I say, like, look, this color looks great on Anderson Cooper, but y'all don't appreciate it on a woman. And so that's a quote that I say all the time. Or, it looks great on George Clooney, but you look at it twice when it's on a woman, which is crazy. It's a double standard. But the point is, there's different attributes that I could use to make my stuff stand out, and it would be found by those who have the same challenge that I have, who've been on the same journey that I've been on. My kids are older now, but when they were little, it was quite funny. And then also being gray and being pregnant. So while I was pregnant, I had my kids back to back. So when I was pregnant with Tony, I didn't dye my hair at all. And then I got pregnant, and while I was breastfeeding, I didn't dye my hair, and it's a thing. And so when I had Nicholas, my gray was probably about, I don't know, 4 inches long, 5 inches long. And someone saw me from behind at a CVS, and Tony was in the little kid holder thing. And they walked up to me and said, "Oh, isn't it so much fun when we get to spend time with our grandbabies?" And I turned around, and she could see my stomach. She looked at my stomach. She looked at my face. She looked at Tony. She looked at my stomach, looked at my face, looked at Tony. She was terribly confused, because I was a gray-haired woman that had a big belly like I was pregnant. And I had another child that was little in the little holder. So again, there are people like me that have been on this journey, and there's so many different jokes. And if I wanted to focus on pregnant women who have gray hair, I could do that as well. And those are all attributes that I could populate. And I would definitely attract that audience. People would be interested in the products that I sell. And they would potentially be repeat buyers, because again, I identify with them, they identify with me, and this is a challenge that we both had. So don't overlook the potential attributes and the different ways in which those attributes can play into things that will resonate with that particular audience. Remember, print on demand is really impulse buying. People impulse buy all the time, like all the time. When you sell things on Amazon, you sell things on eBay, like we just had Prime Day, like impulse buying, 100%. I'm confident that if you bought anything, it wasn't that you needed it right now. Your life was not going to come to a screeching halt if you didn't have it, and life was not going to be over. You probably could have gone without whatever you bought. I'm going to be honest and raise my hand. But because I felt like, okay, I'm at a place now that this would be a great addition to my life. Not that I need it, because the only thing I need to do is be able to breathe in and out at this point, and be able to move. I didn't really need it. I wanted it. And so print on demand is a impulse buy. Your goal is, again, to resonate with that avatar so that they feel like, I need this thing. They don't need it, but they definitely resonate with whatever the message is, and or whatever the idea is, because you're printing either a design or a quote or whatever onto a specific product that particular avatar is interested in. So don't overlook those, and that will help you to get more traction and traffic to your listings over time, and also help you with brand awareness over time. The other one is optimizing your photos. Now, I did not get through this list. So when we look at photos, definitely pay attention to your competition. Having as many of the different types of ways in which this photo can be displayed, it's going to help you. You should fill in all 10 of the photos slots where possible when you have them. So we can go back to a t-shirt. We see the picture of the t-shirt that is laying flat, and they've got different things around it. So that's the cover photo. Then you could show another photo with someone that has that t-shirt on, that's in a it's a white background, and there's nothing else with it. Then you could show another picture of the t-shirt by itself with a plain white background and nothing else. Then you could show a t-shirt where the person is out and about somewhere living their life, and they're in the t-shirt. So there's so many different ways in which this t-shirt can be showcased. People need to be able to see themselves with this t-shirt, or to be able to identify with, hey, yeah, I could wear that to a play, or I could wear that to a baseball game, whatever it happens to be. So make sure that you're including different variations of the picture of the product that you're selling in different positions. Maybe show a picture of it folded. That's the reason why I point out place it. I keep saying .com, but it's not. It's placeit.net. I keep pointing that out because that particular platform is great for getting the different, different ways that your product can be showcased. You're going to get some lifestyle pictures, and you're going to get some regular just pictures and mock-ups in the platform that your supplier's platform, whoever you choose as your supplier, Printful, Printify, whatever. You're going to have some of those. But to get something that's different, that stands out so that people can identify with it, Placeit is a great tool for that. And they'll superimpose that design onto whatever it is. Whatever you can think of in the print-on-demand supply, you probably have a version of that inside of Placeit. Okay, coffee mugs, leggings, notebooks, whatever it is, so that you can showcase that design on many different things, on many different on the product, with different backgrounds. Okay, so make sure that you're filling in the backgrounds of many of the pictures as possible when you create your listing on Etsy. Again, you have 10 places for that, so use all of them. Make sure you have at least a lifestyle picture. Make sure you have or a picture that shows your product in use of some type. A picture of just the product, like I said, it could be folded, it could be just laying flat, it could be whatever, different versions of the same product. And then make sure you name it. When you name that image, that's also going to help your particular product be found. So name it so that your product can also be found. Okay. And then optimize your About You section. The About You section of your store could actually help you get some more sales. Different things resonate with different people. So if your goal is to always sell eco-friendly products, or if we went to go back and look at that, I think it was a Brooklyn candles or something like that. I think we've gone through several classes. So one of them was Brooklyn candles. If we read the About You section of Brooklyn candles, I think we'd probably get some very interesting insight. And it also may help people connect with us as a store. And it may also help people connect with our product much better. So if you decide that you're going to sell eco-friendly products, there's, of course, platforms that will sell you and print-on-demand eco-friendly products. Fill in the About You. That could help you get more people to be attracted to you. Don't overlook the opportunity to have some keywords in that About You as well, because then your store could come up if people are doing random searches just from Google. It could come up because of the fact that your products are referenced or mentioned, or you put in your About You the words that the person is using to search for whatever type of product they want to buy. Okay. And always think about testing. The great thing about print on demand is you can test to your heart's content. So A/B testing is testing your product multiple ways. When you are taking the product, and then I go back to what we started off with. If I decide that I'm going to print this product on a t-shirt, then I'm going to print it on a long sleeve shirt, then I'm going to print it on a sweatshirt, then I'm going to print it on some socks, and I'm going to print it on a coffee mug. I'm putting it on a whole bunch of different stuff. The great thing about print on demand is I don't have to pay for any of that. None of that gets created until somebody buys it. So unless I'm getting samples and I feel like this is the thing that's going to resonate, if you kind of have an idea this is the thing that's going to resonate, you probably want to get samples. But outside of that, with A/B testing, you have the ability to say, you know what? This particular design, I'm getting more sales on the sweatshirts. So now I can scale the sweatshirts and scale it so that I have a white one and a red one and a blue one and a green one and a black one and a whatever and a gray one. I'm going to continue to reproduce this on the sweatshirts. And I may just have singular or just 2 listings for the other stuff that I previously had. If I'm getting, after 6 months, if I'm getting 0 sales on the t-shirts version, Maybe I'm getting sales only on the black version of the t-shirt. I'm only getting sales on the white version of the long sleeve shirt. Then I'm going to go after that. And I'm going to focus on those. But the only way you're going to know that is you got to put enough stuff up to be able to figure out which one of these is the one that people resonate with, which one is the one that's getting the traction. And like I said before, you can do that group photo, and then you can do so that's one listing and group photo, and then a whole bunch, all your photos that go with it. Remember, fill in all 10 slots. Then you're going to do the duplicate that listing, change it so that it's a single shirt, or you can copy and paste your text if you put it into a template. And now you've got a black listing, and then you got a purple listing, and you got a blue listing, you got a green listing, you got whatever. And when you figure out the ones that sell, you can take those other ones down. I didn't get any traction on these other 5. Nobody's interested in the other 5. I'm taking these listings down, and didn't cost you anything other than 20 cents if you're going to put it up on Etsy. So A/B testing can help you quickly find out what resonates with people. And you want to have a duration in mind for your A/B testing. So you may put something up for 60 days and see what it does, or for 90 days and see what it does. And then after the 90 days, you can decide that I'm going to take it down. Make sure you're paying attention to whatever the design is that you created so that you don't hose yourself accidentally. So if it was a design that you created that has a red, white, and blue theme or connection to it in any kind of way, and you're about to take it down because you haven't gotten any sales, and let's say it's, I don't know, December the 1st through February the 1st, well, your timing might be wrong, okay? This thing probably would take off like hotcakes as you are getting closer to days that have to do with red, white, and blue themes, okay? So keep that kind of stuff in mind as well. So I hope that is helpful. I want to be able to answer any questions that anybody has. So what questions, if you want to unmute yourself, what questions can I answer? What questions can I answer? What questions can I help you with? Was this, it's a semi-refresher, but was this helpful? Is anybody going to use this? You can unmute yourselves. All right. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow, Sunday, the 17th. And we'll sort of wrap up some of the things around print on demand for designs and products, and do a recap Sunday and maybe Monday. And then we'll head into books and low content books and coloring books and that kind of stuff. Okay. We'll say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.